Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. I'm Clyde Whiting, and tonight we bring you the Friday night European Strength of Field race from the iRacing Supercars Series, and we are already on to week 7, which comes to you from the fantastic Virginia International Raceway. In the booth with me tonight, I have, as usual, Mr. Pete Bingham. Good evening.
Good evening, Clyde. Good evening, everybody.
And Mr. Bill Switzer. Good evening.
Good evening, Clyde. Good evening, everybody.
And working the magic in the background, as usual, is Mr. Sam Boozing. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
Right, so let's start with you, Pete. We're in qualifying at the moment. I know you've done a few laps of practice to get a feel for the track, and you tell me it's very, very slippery.
It always is around here, but for whatever reason, it's even worse. Either with the new tyre model, I'm not driven here for a while, so it's either the new tyre model or the way that the track's rendered or whatever is going on. It is super slippy. I mean, even Tony's locking up there, but he's usually brilliant on the brakes, isn't he? It's horrific. If you value your safety rating, that's probably what kept a lot of people away today. Field's a little bit reduced, and apparently Holdens don't run well here because nearly all the cars are Fords.
Well, we have got a track temperature of 113 degrees Fahrenheit, so that might the track's not renowned for being grippy, but that certainly will make it a lot worse. And Bill, you know, any type of saloon car racing is usually elbows out racing, and this track in certain places can certainly bring out the worst in people.
It certainly can. There's a lot of congested areas, like through the busy S's there on the other side of the track. It's really tight through there, virtually impossible to pass. Some tricky slow corners, and like Pete mentioned, they're very slippery. And you know, you come over a rise doing 150 miles an hour, and you got about 2 feet to stop. Make a right-hand corner off camber, and if you're not perfect, you slide down the hill into the tire barrier. So it's a very tricky track. It's a beautiful part of Virginia. It's really a lovely place, but it's a bear. It's a really tough little track. It's not little. I mean, it's a fairly long track, but it's a tough track to master, no doubt.
Yeah, and I think you described it perfectly before we came on air. It's like a track made up of lots of other different tracks. It doesn't seem to have its own identity.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of the pro series that used to race here don't race anymore. It started out to be kind of a country club for racers, and you know, they have a lot of the club races here and track days and that kind of stuff. They have a couple pro series. I'm not sure who they have presently, but it's a track that gives you a lot of stuff. I mean, we say that about every track. It's got a lot of kind of tracks to offer, but you're exactly right. It's like 3 or 4 different tracks put together. But it's a heck of a challenge. It ought to be a fun race, even though we're down on car count. I'll tell you, it's going to be really interesting what happens.
Yeah, well, you know, we've seen in the past that you know, we don't always need massive grids to bring together some really good racing. You know, we've got at least 1, 2, I believe, new drivers again tonight, Pete. So I'm pretty sure you'll totally get their names wrong at some point.
Well, from what I've just read, absolutely. That's guaranteed.
So I will apologise to everybody on Pete's behalf, because you know what he's like with names. So we're in this qualifying session, Pete. We are 5.5 minutes in, and Tony Kloosterman currently leads Wayne Sanderson at the top of the field.
He does. It's not by a massive margin, 0.4 of a second at the moment. Ant Woodward's just moved up a little beyond Kevin Honorato. There are some other key names missing here, aren't there? So a lot of the XVR boys are not here, which is unusual.
Yeah, we have just had a message from Johnny Brandon that he's only just got back from work, so
fair enough then. Yeah,
we'll let him off.
Yeah, real life sometimes does get in the way. It shouldn't, should it? Although Lynn has just promoted himself into 3rd place. That's a tidy lap, isn't it? 150.02. That's just brilliant. Alexandru Negu's just moved up into 7th as well, with just behind Marco Loert, with Kevin Honorato just in front of that. Tyler Newitt's currently in 8th. Kevin Duell is in 9th. Miro, who we're watching at the moment, Miro Hrasky, he's the only one out on track at the moment, according to my timing screen.
Yeah, same here.
So I don't know whether people are literally protecting their safety rating, or they've already got their laps done, of course, because they're 7 minutes into this now, and you can do your laps in that time.
Yeah, you only get 2 laps, don't you? So.
And then at the minute, well, and doesn't look like he's going to improve because he's not on track. Nikolai Bogotyrev in 11th, Michael Marchietta in 12th. Ben Cullen, not set a time. He's probably just decided I'll save my safety rate and then start from the back. Will be in 13th. 14th will be Dean Flavel, and I'm going to go with
JR.
Car 15, JR, bringing up the back of the field. I honestly, I don't attempt it. That's a very complicated name. So if you are watching, Car 15, let me know what you're called, and then I can pronounce your name properly.
Yeah, that.
Now, is Michael...
What would I guess up? Jörn Jakob
Have you seen what Lane's written?
Reisig.
Jörn Jakob what? Right, Raziel.
I reckon the L might be silent.
I do as well, yeah. Okay, we'll practice.
We'll find out soon.
We will.
Now, Michael Marchietta is a new person, correct? He hasn't.
No, he's been before.
No, he's been before. Yeah.
Oh, has he? Okay, my apologies.
Lynn in 3rd place is new.
Yanzi.
But Alexander Nougat.
I think it's probably...
Okay, cars are on the grid, guys. Quick run through. First is Tony Kloosterman, Wayne Sanderson, Yanzi Lin, Ant Woodward, Kevin Honorato, Marco Lewert, Alexandru Nagu, Tyler Newitt, Kevin Duell, Miro Hrasky, Nikolai Bogotyrev, Michael Marchietta, Ben Cullen, Dean Flavel, and Jörn Jakob. See, that was quick.
It was.
Very nicely done.
There was only 15 though, right, Bill?
Yeah.
I'll let you do it when there's 30.
Yeah.
Okay, the lights are coming on. Get ready for... Oh, that was quick. Green. That's a terrible start from...
Lynn.
I think it's Yankee Lynn, yeah.
Yeah, he really bogged down there, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know who that is that's just in front in the green car, but he's very, very fighty straight away. Oh, Kevin's gone wide. That's my favourite.
Was he helped, or was that
No, I think he
tyres?
just carried too much on cold tyres.
A lot of pussyfooting around in this first lap, huh? Wow.
There will be. It's honestly lethal. Even on the 3rd lap, I was finding it was a bit tasty. That's a good camera shot, isn't it?
It certainly is.
I do really enjoy that section of the track.
Oh,
Nero.
Nero with damage already. He's out of shape.
Oh.
He's managed to gather it together. That was good recovery.
Well, we got that. I didn't see him bang into anybody. Maybe
He's
it's
there. He's there. It's just in the distance.
And just to
With the red car in front of him.
To save your blushes, Pete, it looks like Jörn Jakob didn't start.
Ah.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, that's a shame. Unless he's a pit lane starter, but no.
So we have got a 28-lap race tonight. I do have some inside information that I am just going to try and find what I did with. So I am told that the pit window opens at the end of lap 9.
Right.
Drivers drivers will be taking around 37 litres of fuel, and their pit box time will be about 15 seconds, so they should also take tyres.
You would want to take tyres around here as well. You absolutely scrub them on all corners. Some really heavy braking zones and braking zones on turns. Ben Cullen wrote in the chat his safety rating is going to die in the race. And I think everybody's going to suffer in the same sort of way, apart from the guys right at the front if they can hold it on the track.
Miro Haraski seemed to lose a lot of space there. He's fallen back quite a bit.
He's got damage on the left-hand side of his car. Sorry, right-hand side of his car.
Yeah, and Lynn, after his poor start, he's now starting to get a little bit fighty behind Marco Lewertz.
Yeah, he absolutely flung it into that last turn. So he's on a mission now. He's obviously very capable and don't know anything about him. He's in the optimal position for passing Marco at this point, unless Marco stays slightly left and blocks him going into that uphill left into right.
Doesn't appear to be Lynn's first rodeo, does it?
It really doesn't. He's got a decent I rating.
It looks like Tyler Newitt's closing in on the back of that battle too a little bit.
Yeah, Tony Kloosterman stretched out about a 1 second gap over Wayne Sanderson at the front. And Woodward at the moment sitting pretty on his own in third. Move here by Kevin Duell on Michael Marchietta.
Yeah, behind Kevin Honorato, there's quite a lot of open track back to Ben Cullen.
Yeah,
that's a good move by Kevin. Nicely done.
That's Kevin going past Nikolai.
Yeah, Kevin's out of position obviously because he ran way off the track on the first turn.
Ran wide in the first turn.
Oh, sideways from left.
Yeah, whoa.
Yeah, he's certainly giving it big, isn't he, at the moment?
If he carries on like that, though, he won't have much grip left by the time he gets to his pit stop.
No, and all those little mistakes are dragging Tyler Newitt onto the back of him.
I'll tell you, that track level camera sure shows you how fast those guys are going.
It does. It does. It's terrifying, isn't it?
It is. Really sailing.
And scrubbing the speed off here is really difficult. Some of these guys are making it look easy, other ones you can see are twitching in the braking zones.
He's got a good run here.
Plan the restart.
Yep, he was good off the line. He got probably put onto a portion of the track he didn't want to be on because Lynn didn't launch. And then he's just carried too much on the dirty bit of the track. And, he's had to avoid.
Marco came over. Marco.
Yeah, I thought there was a tap there.
Yep,
No.
this is.
Oh, it is as well.
Yep, little side to side. Yep.
Power to your better vision.
It just looked. I literally caught it out of the corner of my eye, and it looked like he jinked one way from a contact. But, so here is Lynn.
Put the move on Marco
getting
Lewertz.
that place over Marco Lewertz.
As a matter of fact, you can see the damage on the left rear quarter panel, wing, whatever you guys call it, on the left side from side swiping. Who'd you get?
Kevin.
I'm sorry, Kevin Duell.
Oh, somebody is that? That's Michael Marchietta. Running wide, all on his own by the looks of it.
After all that hard work catching up, wow.
So Lynn has disappeared a bit and he's now chasing down Alexandru Nagu. And Marco Lewertz will now be defending against the charging.
That's Lynn.
That's Lynn. Let's revise that.
Yeah, I did wonder how long his grip levels would remain because he's put his car sideways
Got
into
a
a
back
few
right up.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
baby.
locked up on the way in, didn't he?
Yeah, he's
He
managed
did.
to skillfully avoid that wall though.
He's got away with no damage there, so be interesting
That's an
to see him charge again. So Newitt is putting a move on. I think he's going to back out of that one. Yes.
Yeah, he's on the wrong side for the following turn.
Where Lynn went off, that's an easy place to go off.
No, I
really.
did. Yeah.
So
There's
he's
so
now
many
got to fight
places.
his way back through these three again.
Yeah, there's so many places around here, isn't there, Bill, that it's so easy to just lock a wheel and you're off, you're gone.
They asked me, I can describe every place where you go off. in detail. And this first corner is very tricky. You got to go a lot slower than you think you do. It's not a constant. It's actually 2 corners. It's not a constant radius.
And Gary Craig was saying when he was doing practice that most of these turns they tighten up on you as you hit the apex, so you've got to stay off the gas for even longer than you think you should, or you end up sideways around the corners, a bit like Lynn is.
Gary Craig is where?
He's decided he's not going to do it, I think.
The fiver. Where Mike Frost is too.
Gary is on the sofa apparently. So he says on chat.
With his dress on.
I think he just does that at Saturdays and Sundays.
Was that? Oh, I thought it was Fridays as well.
No.
He became Geraldine.
You've thought about that way too much, Clyde. That's unhealthy.
Every night.
To whoever that is, with a very strange name.
That's Chris Jackson.
Oh, is it? It's Chris Jackson with a crazy name. Chris, we don't know. Apparently they're allergic to Virginia International Raceway. Lane says that Gary must have borrowed your dress. Oh, that's wide. Oh,
Whoa,
good catch
baby.
by Kevin Duell.
Yeah, that's just dropped him off the back of that battle,
It will do.
and it's made Lynn interested, hasn't it?
Oh yeah.
You stick a toe out on that corner and you lose all your momentum for the straight.
Lynn can feel it. Wow, he's in there hot though.
Yeah, he's locking up tyres a lot, isn't he?
Well, we're on lap 6, so you know these guys have got to do at least another 3 laps. And then if they do pit early, it makes you wonder how they're going to struggle at the end of the race.
Yeah, Kevin Duell is very out of shape in some of these tighter
Yes, he
corners.
is.
And getting out of that last one there, where Kevin Honorato has just come through, getting on the gas is, honestly, it's awful when you've done a few laps.
Yeah, Kevin's driving well. He's obviously getting up on the back of this battle now.
Yeah.
He can see, I'm not saying he can do it, but he can see 4 positions in front of him.
Yes. Sorry, I had to revise which Kevin you were talking about, but you're talking about Honorato, aren't you?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, considering he was off on the first corner and dead last.
Oh, he's done an amazing job to get where he is. And I do like that livery. I say it most weeks.
Goes up really well.
It does. It stands out from the crowd, and Tyler's trying to do the move, and I think he's got this done.
He looks like he's got the
He needs to
overspeed.
come across the front of him to block that move, and he has done.
Well done.
And now Marco is going to be meat for the people behind him now.
Yeah, he's going to be under pressure now, isn't he?
Yeah.
They're going to try and line him up one at a time.
Tyler looks very smooth through a lot of these corners. I think he's been very kind to his tyres, and now his grip levels are superior to the rest of them.
I always find that Tyler is a very good driver, but he has some rotten luck.
Right.
Oh,
like that, you mean?
Well, yeah, I'm saying nothing, no?
See, that first corner is a bear, I'm telling you.
As soon as you lock that wheel up going in there, that's it.
Straight line.
You've got to let off the brakes, and then you've got too much speed.
Yeah.
And then when you,
Sorry, go on, Bill.
Then when you get out there, you got to work your way through the ice field to get back on the pavement.
Yeah. So,
well,
Kevin,
yeah. So we've got Jonah Lowert, because every time somebody passes him, they go off the track.
Yeah. Ooh, that's why.
Wow.
He's very sideways, this chap.
Those tires are not gripping very well. That's Lynn.
It is.
I'll tell you, he's pretty good at the wheel, even though they're slick.
He is, but he's towing away at it a bit, and that means he's scrubbing heat into his tyres.
He's a bit of an artist if he can stay with these people with them being that worn out, those tires.
Yeah.
Look at that, moving, making a move.
He's only going to show his nose, I think. Only the brave into this one. He's having it. But he's going to have to go around the outside here,
that's
the inside for the next corner.
Well, he's done well there.
He has. That's a really good overtake. I thought Kevin
had a switch there,
as well. Yeah.
Is that a little hip check on Kevin Duell, you think? I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think there was contact. I think Kevin D just got a twitch on, which made Kevin H very interested for a second.
I agree with that. Yeah. Oh no!
Whoa.
I think we're gonna have to watch 2 replays.
So there was nothing there.
I think this is just
Well
been really
done
good.
to the pair of them there.
Oh,
There was a slight touch, but that was a
It's
door rub,
nothing.
and you just see the twitch that Kevin had then.
Yeah.
And what was the other one that you see, Pete?
Right
Going into turn 1. If we stay with this, if we can stay with this, Kevin Duell got very, very out of shape.
Sure did.
In a Code Brown situation.
Oh yes.
I think he held it. He did. That's
yeah.
Wow.
He's actually done really well to not go off the track there.
That was really well done, yeah.
So out the front, Tony Kloosterman now has a 2.5 second lead over Wayne Sanderson, who is a further 6.5 seconds in front of Ant Woodward.
Yes.
So Ant's still in that nice little pocket, all on his own. No one to worry about in front, and nobody really closing him down from behind. He's got nearly 3 seconds to Alexandru Nagu. Behind Alexandro is Marco Lewert, which is the battle that we have been watching quite intently.
Yeah, and Alexandru's times are ever so slight. Oh, I'll shut up because now they're not. I was going to say they are ever so slightly faster than Ant's, but Ant decided to make it look silly. Yeah, that was close.
We nearly had a Kevin on Kevin.
Oh, and he just apologized. Maybe he did with him. I don't know.
I think he did.
Not much of a touch, though.
He'll have scared the pants off him. That's probably what he was apologising for.
Maybe, yeah.
Getting his laundry bill or something. I mean, you're on about 75% throttle all the way through that last complex, because anything more than that and your car's trying to kill you. Look at the way he's hitting them curbs, Lynn. It's good driving. I don't know how long those tyres would last doing that.
So we're on lap 9 now, so in theory, anybody that pits now can make it to the end.
Have we had anybody already in, just sneaked in?
No, nobody's been in yet.
Oh, this might be on... no, he's a bit distant for that, isn't he?
Yeah, we've got a couple of good battles going on at the moment.
Although he wasn't shy last lap, so is he just
Yeah.
going to take 2 in 2? No, he's seen reason there.
We've got Lynn and Lou.
That's a great turn.
Oh, my goodness.
That was very impressive. He's not letting this go, and he's got loads of wheel spin coming out of that last turn.
Yeah. So this battle is really good.
Kevin Duell.
there's your first one.
He's going to try the Nemela effect.
Yeah, Newitt and Bogatyrev, this battle as well has been raging for a few laps since Tyler went off track.
Yeah, Nikolai's not making it easy for him to go by either.
No, and I think Tyler is quicker than him, so I'll go back to my usual tactic of if Nikolai doesn't pit, if I was Tyler, I would pit.
Yep.
And if Nikolai comes in, I would stay out and do another lap or two.
Very close right there through that complex.
I mean, Nikolai's improved an enormous amount, but I'd have thought Tyler would have got this done before now. I don't know why. He's having a look every time, but he's not actually making anything happen.
Wow.
It's one of those tracks.
Anyway.
I think you're out of control for 50% of the lap.
I think you're right.
See, Tyler should have pitted then.
I would have done. I would have. I'd have been sat there thinking, why aren't they putting any tyres or fuel in?
Yeah, that's Pete Bingham's personal pit area.
I have been known to pit at the wrong pit lane. Stop laughing. Stop laughing.
I'm sorry, I don't.
Oh, what's this? What's this? What's this?
Oh!
That was really slow and horrible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Gold tires.
Oh, look at this now. This is
It's
done.
on,
Surely
it's
it's
on.
on. Oh. Cameraman's making me have a fit.
Damn,
Marco got no grip at all coming out of there. He was spinning the wheel.
Kevin
dear.
Honorato's just waited there to pick up the pieces.
He's polishing his knife and fork, isn't he?
Yeah, Marco's doing a decent defensive job, let me tell you.
Yeah, he's not had a rest, has he, since the race started?
Now, he's made his car a little wider in spots, too, I noticed. I might be mistaken, but they look like they're closing in on Alexandru Nagu also.
They are going faster than him, half a second faster last lap round.
Yeah. Tyler listened, he did pit.
Yeah, he's right down the field at the moment, but obviously everyone else has got to cycle through. Oh, he's got a good drive here again. Oh dear, that is amazing drive off that corner from Lynn.
Well, this is that place he likes to do the pass.
Yeah, I mean, it's only for the brave, this, isn't it, really? And like you often say, Clyde, you need the other guy to be compliant, and he wasn't.
You do.
Kevin Honorato sneaks through.
Like the roof of Marco's car. Oh dear, good catch. He's on the ragged edge, isn't he? Wonder if we'll see him in this lap to get some new shoes on.
I was going to say, yeah, get in the pits and...
He's not having it, he's going again.
Going again, yeah. Kevin's going. So lap 12 of 28.
Who else isn't in this race? And I was in the practice session with him.
Yeah,
Andrew Hoffman.
Yeah, he did send me a message. He missed the start again.
Ah, right. Okay.
Dean Flavel is in.
Tyler's going to have to put some heat into these new tyres, if indeed he took tyres.
Yeah, and then he's going to have to bang some quick laps in before Nikolai comes in.
Yep.
And hopefully jump him in the pit stop. So there's our leader.
Told you he was on the racetrack.
Not going down the Bingham pit lane.
No. Nice and smooth, isn't it, Tony Kloosterman?
Yeah, well, Wayne Sanderson has pitted.
Yes.
So Tony's thought he was going wide then. He's got a big gap behind him. He's still going.
He is, and I think the reason is he did. Even on Ant's last racing lap, Tony was still over a second faster.
Yeah.
So he's under no pressure at the moment.
And Kevin has come out. Wayne has come out behind Nikolai. Don't think he's quite on him yet, but
no, he's got about 5 seconds, I think. I'm not sure.
Well, Tony I think, is in a position too. He can be a lot kinder to his tires as well. So maybe that's why he's holding on a little bit longer.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's holding back on the speed front.
Not much.
He's absolutely ragging it through these corners. He's taking all the curbs through there.
Yeah.
Although hitting the curbs through there actually stabilises your car a bit. I don't know why. It just feels better if you hit the curbs.
He is so smooth. Wow.
he must have the undercut from Wayne in the back of his mind, though. Surely it's been done to him so many times.
It has. Yeah, he must be sick of cars coming out of the pit lane in front of him. I mean, if he does, I think what's possibly in his head, well, even if he pits now, a 15-second pit stop, is that a hold? It's 15.
Yes.
Yeah, so if he goes
that's how long
now,
it takes to get the fuel in.
Yeah, he's going to come out somewhere around Marco Loertz.
Yeah, and I don't know, possibly Tony's going to give it one more and do it halfway because of the way the tyres are behaving, and get the best out of both sets. The other way is obviously if somebody is watching Wayne's lap times for Tony.
Yeah.
As soon as the lap times equalise, then come in.
Yeah. And Tyler Newitt's doing super fast laps as well. Wayne's done a 1:49 something.
Yeah, so Wayne's just done the quickest lap of the race. So
yeah, Tyler's a bit stuck here.
No, Tony Kloosterman had the quickest lap of the race, but that's not far off of it.
Well, Tyler's ended up behind this little rolling roadblock he's got in front of him. Obviously he's on better tyres so he can do better laps, but not with these cars blocking his path.
Kevin Duell and Tyler Newitt went past Miro Brasky. Now they're trying to go after Marco Loertz there.
And again, this is another track where there's a few, and they're infrequent overtaking opportunities unless you're gonna really stuff it in and upset the other person. I mean, there's nothing round here. Unless they make a mistake, you can't do anything to overtake through any of this complex of corners.
It's very risky.
You got to set yourself up out of there with lots of drive in order to do anything into the left-hander that's coming up here. Only one line through any of this, even though it feels good, there's only one line through it. And there is a half overtaking opportunity into the big tree corner.
Yep. Nice corner by Tyler.
It was, yeah.
It didn't come off quite as well as he wanted.
No, that's Kevin Honorato, I think, overtaking Michael Marchietta.
So Alexandro Nagu is in the pits. Wayne Sanderson is taking about 0.3 of a second out of Tony every lap at the moment.
I don't suppose you looked at the gap that Tony had before Wayne pitted?
No. I've got 3.5 seconds in my head for some reason, but I don't know why. I might just be thinking about my sex life.
Is that including the pizza?
Yeah, and a smoke.
And Tony's still doing good times on those tyres, mind.
He is, yeah.
Tyler is definitely, I think, being held up by Kevin Duell's older tyres. Because he's crawling all over him. He just can't get the launch out of the corners where he needs it, I don't think. Oh, look, Kevin was sideways going through that little bit there.
Right, Tony is in.
Okay. Hopefully he didn't speed and get a penalty or anything.
Yeah, so where is Wayne Sanderson on track at the moment? He's going around the tight bits before you get onto the start-finish straight. So he's got this little short straight, then a left-right chicane. That's not a chicane, it's just quite big.
Yeah.
And then this is the start-finish straight. So where is Tony Kloosterman?
Just coming out of the pits now.
Oh,
This is going to be close.
That was Lynn in the pits as well.
It was. I think Tony's put Nikolai between him and Wayne.
Yeah, he has. Nikolai's still got a pit.
In that case, Tony's taken full opportunity of that. He'll have known that as well, so he'll have ensured that he passed Nikolai before that first turn.
Yeah, Tony might lose a bit of time on this lap with the very cold tyres, but then obviously his tyres are going to be a lot newer than Wayne's.
And Tyler's still behind Kevin Duell. Is Kevin still to pit?
We've got Ant Woodward, Nikolai Bogotyrev, and Miro Razki and Ben Cullen still to pit.
So Kevin's been in.
Yeah.
I think he was one of the first ones that went in, actually.
Oh, he was, yes.
Yeah, he pitted on lap 9.
It's funny, isn't it? Everybody takes those sweeping turns on a very different line.
Yeah, they do.
And at different speeds as well. It's like a concertina effect. That's a nudge. That was a nudge. Is he letting him go?
He's
going to let him go
Yeah,
back.
good lad. Tyler knew it.
Good
Well
man,
done.
Tyler. He knew it.
Okay, Ant Woodward and Nikolai Bogotyrev are in. So that puts Tony Kloosterman back in the lead of the race with nearly 4 seconds. And that, I think that gap will just grow with Tony's new tyres and Wayne's probably second-hand tyres.
Yeah, I would think so. And I think you'll see it stretch out quite quickly, I feel, because the tyres have got good grip for a very short amount of time, and then they do tend to tail off. But we know that Tony's smooth. Wayne's a very smooth driver as well, but whoa, you had to get right out of that.
Miro Razki takes his pit stop.
And Tony's stretched it out already to nearly 5 seconds as a lead.
Yeah, just trying to... Ben Cullen is our last person to pit. He's just come in. Trying to see what battles are going to shape up at the moment. Lynn and Honorato is definitely going to be a battle. Ooh.
Little slick there. He hung on to it. such an important corner to get right because that's the corner under the longest straight. Really important.
And again, Tyler can see 2 positions in front of him for definite. It's just getting it done. That's the trouble. So Lynn is now under. Oh, who's that in the background? Alexandra in the goo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lynn is now under a second behind Kevin Honorato. Under half a second now.
Here they are.
And that's Ant Woodward just in front of them.
Yeah, I mean, Ant's done a fantastic job to get into third. He's got a long way to go to catch up to Wayne Sanderson, and I think with the way these guys are travelling at the moment, I think he might have some company soon.
Yeah, I agree, Pete. The battle is for the third step of the podium, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think any of these 3 drivers that we just had in the picture can do it.
I completely agree with you. Lynn got that move done in the middle of the straight, so that must have been Kevin Honorato pour out of
he was. You see the back of the car wiggle. I think Lynn is the quickest driver out of these 3.
Yeah,
I agree.
He's not going to find Ant Woodward easy to get past, though.
he isn't, and we've seen Lynn go off track on a number of occasions as well. So he may be fast, but can he keep it on the kind of light grey stuff, which is Virginia track colour? I mean, he's gapped Kevin Honorato there by a significant amount already.
Yeah, he's got that gap under 2 seconds.
Meanwhile, in a different race. I mean, has Tony just done a 1:48.82 lap before this?
No. Well, I don't know. Yeah, probably the one before that one.
Yeah,
his last one was a 1:51, so he must have made a mistake somewhere.
Yeah. Whereas mere mortals like me could never possibly imagine getting to 1:48.9.
So let's just stay on board with our leader. We'll soon bring you back as any battles tighten up.
Just super smooth, isn't he? You can't hear any wheel spin. He's not stressing the tyres. He's early on the brakes. His last downshift's always just a little bit before the apex.
Yeah, I'm just watching the steering wheel for any signs of counter steering.
Fairly smooth, isn't it, Clyde?
Yeah, scarily smooth. So
Yeah.
So here we go. Nikolai Bogotyrev and Marco Loert.
Nikolai figures it's about time he did some passing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a ropey start to the race, didn't he? He seemed to have no speed whatsoever, but he seems to have got better the more laps that he's done. The Woodward-Lynn battle is now under a second and a half, so that's definitely on lap 20 of 28.
You can just about see it in the distance there as they head up that hill.
speaking of Nikolai, he's the highest up in the standings. He's been all race too, right at this moment.
Yeah, and he'll be where he is now. He'll be in an IR scoring position as well as a championship point scoring position.
Yeah, and he's also the biggest mover of the race, up 4 positions.
Good for him.
And he's got his eye on another one.
He has, and Kevin Duell seems to be pulling onto the back of these two.
Yep.
And dropping Tyler Newitt.
We're looking. Good choice, Nikolai.
Yeah. Ooh, that's close.
No, 2 years ago, Nikolai would have kept his foot in there.
Oh, yeah.
He's absolutely developed as a driver. That's absolutely true. His racecraft now is so much better. And I think that's partly the education from being in the V8 ESC League. Because everyone is extraordinarily helpful in there and will give you constructive feedback.
I'll tell you another thing, he rarely does not finish. I mean, he rarely falls out of a race. He always hangs in there.
Yep.
So Ant Woodward seems to have stabilised the gap at the moment with Yuanci Lin. And according to Mr. Namela, the reason was because Lynn made another mistake.
So Nikolai should get a decent drag going up this hill this time. Depends on his gear ratios and how much wing he's got on the car.
Duell's getting closer all the time.
He is, yeah, he's definitely closing in. Nikolai's had to back out of that again.
Okay, Woodward and Lynn is now or just about a second.
In order to get any footage though, they're going to have to get between 0.19 of a second like these two.
Yeah.
So Nikolai goes wide again and dances around trying to find the optimal
Kevin had
line.
a big switch in the background there.
He did, yeah, but he caught it again. So
Here we have Ant and Lynn.
yeah, just over a second between them now.
Alexandru's been off track again.
Oh, Kevin Duell off track. And that looked like getting on the gas too soon and fishtailing out of the corner.
It's very easy to do, isn't it? When you're clawing in cars in front of you, it's so easy to overdrive just to get that extra little fraction of a second.
Absolutely true.
Isn't it true? When you start getting close like that, you can like feel it, you know?
Yeah.
You know it's time, and then all of a sudden, boom, the gas pedal goes a little bit too far.
So Nikolai not as close as he was last lap. So this one's going to have to wait for a bit longer.
Yeah.
He's on him in the braking zone, so but it's always easier to follow, isn't it?
Yeah.
They pick your braking point for you generally. This is now. Yeah. But like you said, Ant Woodward is going to be like a barn door in front of that car, I think.
Ant can feel the heat from him, boy. Whoa, nice line.
Went in there
baby.
I think Ant was a bit hot into that corner anyway.
Yeah.
The next two corners are left though, so he's not going to try that.
Yeah, he's got away with it.
Yeah. Yeah, this will be a decent camera angle.
Yeah, and look at the difference in steering
Yeah.
from when we was on board with Tony.
They are sailing down through this section. Wow.
Yeah, he's really sawing through that steering wheel though, isn't he, to try and get the turn in the car. Gives it a wiggle to try and get stability in the front end.
So Alexander Nagu is up with Tyler Newitt.
He is, yeah. Which
So
is
what's going on with Tyler? He seems to. Oh, he's
there we go, slow
right.
spin.
There we
He
go.
seems to be going backwards.
Didn't hit any scenery though,
Wow.
so that's the benefit of that one. And this is, yeah, this is very
Oh
on.
my, they are close.
I get the feeling that Lynn's not going to ask too many times. He's in a very good position here. If Ant hugs that right hand side, then he's not really got, and he has done, so that forces Lynn onto the outside, and then there's a crossover happening.
You lost it then.
Yeah. Good defensive line from Ant though. Same thing's going to happen here, I think, for another lap.
Nikolai's got a good run, but I don't think he's going to take it.
No, Marco's put his car.
Yeah,
Sorry,
he's
yours,
on
Clive.
that defensive line.
Yeah, I think we've got the
Here's
same thing going on here.
Here's another group.
These cameramen are busy today.
Look at that. Cutting
Whoa.
back.
Oh,
Whoa,
Let's go,
whoa,
baby.
whoa, 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 let it go, good lad.
I think that was two cars with no grip, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's absolutely pounding those.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Lynn
Trundle
continues to work on Chinese-Welsh relations.
Woo. Don't know why, but that looked like he was absolutely sailing off track then.
Yeah, I think it's just a hello, Ant, I'm here.
Yeah.
Are you looking forwards or are you looking in your mirror?
Yeah. And this is round 2 of Ant Woodward and Lynn face off into turn 1. The same result has happened. Now, is Lynn going to try this cutback he did before?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He is, and he's done it.
But that is the trouble, taking the defensive line into that corner. It's so easy to outbrake yourself.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
locked up there.
It is. You've got even further to turn your wheel, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah, you tighten the corner up, so yeah. Ant will be kicking himself, obviously. But Lynn has obviously given us a very exciting drive tonight.
He certainly has. Hope he's not charging for it. Kevin Duell leaving black lines in the road going around that last corner.
Well, Lynn will be thinking there's 4 laps to go. I'm 28 seconds behind. I can do this.
It ain't over till it's over.
Nikolai needs to get this done because otherwise he's going to be under pressure from Kevin Duell.
Yeah, I think Lane O'Connor's fantasising a little. He's saying Ant will thrash himself with a leak. I think Lane wants camera footage of that.
Lane's probably not even watching our stream. He's watching Ant's stream just so he can stare at his feet. And Ant's probably painted his toenails just for Lane.
He says only with thistles.
Shout out to my old pal Lane. Old man rule, buddy.
Must be about time we give him a ban.
Yeah. Oh, Nikolai's got a good drive coming out of there, though. He's going to choke up here because there's nowhere to go.
So Nikolai's got 3 lap newer tyres.
And he's showing it, and he's been showing it for the last few laps, I think.
But so far, Marco's defence has been outstanding. Everybody's had trouble getting past him.
Marco got a bit out of shape there.
Yeah, it looked like he forgot that turn was there or something.
He was carrying too much speed through the first part of that section, and it caught up with him when he got to the second half of it.
Yeah. He's keeping
Good line from Nikolai here. That's good. Oh, that's why it was good. He's getting pushed around the corner by Kevin Duell.
Kevin Duell is definitely not pussyfoot.
So leaders are on the penultimate lap. This is going to go on to the end.
Nikolai got a pretty good shot out of that corner. Let's see if he can do anything.
He's still a bit too far back, I think.
Yeah, tiny bit.
Marco's going to stay left. Stay right again.
Nikolai better be careful. Kevin will cut inside of him. Nope.
Nikolai's trying to take the line that Lynn took on Ant Woodward earlier.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, you're relying on the car in front to outbrake itself, though, for that. And this is what Nikolai didn't want. He didn't want that pressure from behind.
He's got to try to pass and defend at the same time. That's tough.
Marco is probably cheering for Kevin at the moment.
Offering up his firstborn.
Yeah, Alexander Nagu and Tyler Newitt are back at it.
Yeah, it's taken Alexander a bit to catch up with him, but it's back on now. Tyler's not been able to keep with Kevin Duell, has he? Kevin's up with that other group now.
Yeah. Tony Klusterman starts his final lap.
Nikolai's dropped off the back of Marco now, so that attention from Kevin is obviously enough to distract him.
Yeah.
Okay, Lynn has made another mistake, and Ant Woodward did close up, but I think he's managing to pull away again.
To be honest, I don't know what the gap was before he made his error, so... It's closed right up on his boot lid now, and Lynn's now lost his traction again, as he did in his first stint.
Yeah, I think Lynn is really working them tyres, isn't he?
Sure is.
Whoa. I think we all knew what we thought was going to happen there.
Yeah. Who was it said we sounded like a rubbish boy band?
Oh.
That's a splash and
ran
dash,
out
is
of
it?
fuel.
I think he has done, and he's forgotten to take his tyres off if that's the case. Here's Tony. Last few turns. 2 more, and then it's a 9-second lead victory.
A ride in the park for Tony.
Bless you.
Excuse me. I took my
bless
headset off
you.
before I deafened you. I don't know where that came from.
So another win for Tony Kloosterman.
Yeah, Wayne Sanderson gets a well-deserved second.
Absolutely.
Then we've got a
Woodward
little
is
bit
in
of time
front
to
of
wait.
Lynn again. What happened to Lynn?
Yes.
He's off track somewhere.
Yeah, gonna watch it back after this battle, guys.
Certainly, yeah.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, 3 into here doesn't go.
Oh,
Not without
yeah.
tears. Not without tears. Oh, nudged out of the way.
Yeah.
So we've got Marco that will cross the line in 6th. Kevin looks like 7th now. And Nikolai will probably feel a little bit hard done by there. Coming back in 8th.
Nikolai still did a great job considering where he started.
He did, yeah, definitely. In all that somewhere. Oh, here we go.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a
boy.
dramatic one. Kept it out of the wall.
That was Happy Christmas, Ant Woodward.
Yeah. So yeah, Lynn finished 4th in the end. Kevin Honorato sneaked through under the cameras
Yes, he did.
to get 5th. I don't think we're waiting for anybody else to cross the line, are we?
Yeah, we still got
we
a few
are, yeah.
going.
So Alexandru
Not
Naidu.
really anything battle-y, but
Oh, there's Alexandra Nagu, sorry.
yeah, Michael Marchietta is going to
Yep.
come home 11th. Dean
Dean,
Flavel in 12th.
And Miro must be behind him just. There you go, Miro.
There's
Happy.
Miro.
And that's everybody finished.
Yeah, where did Ben Cullen end up with that?
14th, but he was a lap down, so
So he's
he
already
actually
crossed the line.
finished before the rest of them, yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was that was
That-
hard work watching, let alone the guys that were driving it. As you rightly said at the start, Pete, it was a very, very slippery track. And yeah, I don't really know where to start with that. It was Lynn I thought was absolutely fantastic. Too many mistakes, but a very, very exciting drive. Tony Kloosterman just got away at the start and never looked back. Wayne Sanderson was best of the rest. I think Kevin Honorato had a fantastic drive, especially after going off on the first corner. And defensive driving, Marco Lewer was the hardest car on the track to pass.
Yeah, Virginia always delivers a really good race. It was as I expected. I'd already had a couple of laps, although they were terribly embarrassingly bad ones, and I think Sam's got some footage of me crashing on most of the corners.
And
it's-
most of the straights.
Well,
Everything
at
is
least
recorded.
one. So it was as I expected it to be, and it was as dramatic as I thought it would be. Add in Lynn and his he's a very forward-thinking driver, isn't he? And it was a very exciting race. Entertainment value, he's brilliant. He kind of threw his own third place away there. His own podium went away.
Yeah.
Tony wrapped it up in Tony fashion with a 9-second lead. Very exciting. Lots and lots of lack of traction all the way through the race.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's get our race winner in for you, Pete, Mr. Tony Kloosterman.
Tony Kloosterman, our race winner. Welcome to the booth. How are you?
Very well, Pete. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. You won that head and shoulders, didn't you? 9-second lead at the end. You seem to have a lead that you managed. A best lap time, which I can only dream of doing. I would have crashed at least 20 times trying to achieve that. Brilliant race. How did you see it?
Yeah, it was a little slippery out there. I had done the official race last night for the Americas Series, so I had an idea of what was going to happen during the course of the race, and it actually gripped up a little bit, but halfway through, not a lot, but enough to help me extend that lead. And the Nurmela effect didn't work today.
No, definitely not. I mean, they were lapping a bit faster than you while you stayed out, but you managed to do some laps that people would love to do as their fastest. You were doing on your old tyres, so a masterful race, really, when you consider all things in, and lots of activity behind you. When you watch the broadcast, you'll be glad you kept away from it.
I was watching the relative. I saw the tussle with Ant, and I forget who the other person was he was racing with, but it looked like it was pretty close.
Yeah, that was a chap called Lynn, and he was he got a lot of footage. Let's put it that way. It was a very exciting race from his perspective, and very entertaining from ours from him. But congratulations on your win. Is there anyone you'd like to thank for on behalf of your victory?
Yeah, actually, Gary Croft. He's not racing so much right now, but he is doing some testing for us, and he came up with some brilliant brake strategy, which really played well today. So it's a difficult track to slow down and to turn one, and he managed to find the secret. So we're going to keep that in their back pocket for the rest of the season and see what that brings.
Yeah, tell no one.
I'm not even tell the rest of my teammates.
Well, congratulations again. That was a brilliant performance. Our race winner, Tony Kloosterman.
Thanks, Pete.
Okay, next up, we will bring in second place driver Wayne Sanderson. Wayne, welcome to the booth.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. Tony Kloosterman ran away with that. You didn't seem to have anything for him around here. Are you happy being best of the rest?
Yeah, I guess so. It was he definitely had the edge on me tonight. He got a better start, slowly pulled away in the first stint. I don't think I was going to stick with him unless I took silly risks. It was a pretty quiet race for me. I got a bit excited after the pit stop when I saw him coming out with Nikolai side by side. He managed to navigate that okay, and then my spotter told me that he went a little bit wide or sideways at the tree at one point as well, and I got a bit excited about that as well. But then he just disappeared into the distance some more.
Yeah,
so that was that.
Yeah, we were sort of hoping that the Nurmela effect with the undercut would happen, and perhaps you would come out in front of Tony, and then there would have been such a difference on tyre life that you would have been defending for your life. But unfortunately, he got in and out in front of you. So where do you go from here? Is it just going to be follow the leader, or can Wayne Sanderson find another gear to get up there and challenge these really fast guys when they turn up?
Yeah, I hope so. It's always difficult to find that little extra next bit of speed in this car, but I guess it's been building slowly, but it's not coming fast enough for me. But I'll just keep chipping away, and I've had some pretty good races with Tony. Got the better of him once or twice, but not very often. But hopefully, it would have been much more interesting race, I think, if I could have been door handle to door handle with him throughout.
Yeah, and interestingly, next week we're at another slippery track in Okayama. Is that on your favoured list? Do you think you can do something round there, or is it going to be as is with this race?
I think the last time I did something around there, I was a rookie in an MX-5, but I guess we'll see when we get there.
Okie dokie. Well, congratulations on your second place. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
You guys, obviously, for the broadcast, Backfire, XVR team, and the Sim Mortal and the Virtual Racing Association. Thanks, guys.
Excellent. Well, congratulations again, Wayne, and hopefully we'll catch you very soon.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers. Okay, Pete. So next up, I will bring in the man that's had all his Christmases in one night for you, Mr. Ant Woodward.
Evening.
Good evening, Ant. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
I bet you thought, oh, that's nice, when you came round the old oak tree.
Yeah, I was pretty pleased to be able to catch him back up after he passed me, to be honest, and just stick with him. And then I was thinking, I might be able to make a pass here. It seems his tyres are going or something. And then, next thing, smoke, and just got through as well.
Yeah, do you think
I lost it on the way into the corner. I was kinds of sideways going into the corner, looking at smoke, thinking, where's he going to be? Pretty nice to just drive through it unharmed, actually.
I thought you were going to say that people had brought some dry ice out for you, and you thought, oh, I must have won. You did some really good defensive lines into turn one on a number of laps, but then ended up locking your tyres, which is what gave Lynn the opportunity to tuck it under the inside there. But other than that, it was a very controlled, calm, relatively incident-free race, wasn't it?
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there with controlled, because it was so slippy. I was basically treating it like the track was wet and the racing line was the dry line. And if I went off that, I was in big trouble. And it seemed to work. I couldn't even get full throttle. Some places it would just leap out sideways, where you think the car's totally straight. And really slippy. I think it was 116 or so track.
Yeah, I mean, this track's slippy without the temperature. You pile in some heat and it's going to be even worse. I did some practice laps, as you probably laughed at. Earlier, so I do know exactly how little traction you get. But you must be really happy with the podium. That's a good haul of points, I'm guessing. Is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank VIR first of all for having their barbecue, and unfortunately they mustn't have invited Wayne, but it's nice of them to all not show up. I don't know what quite happened there. No, we missed them this week. It would have been nice to race with all them boys, but no, I thank the team, Never Quit Racing, Evie and Stacey, and my friend from work's actually watching, Alan. Say hello to him as well.
Evening, Alan.
And you guys doing a brilliant job as usual. And I'll echo what Tony said. Gary's done some great work on our brakes.
Yeah, well done, Gary. Right, thank you very much, Ant Woodward, our third place finisher.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, so next we'll bring in our fifth place finisher, Kevin Honorato. Good evening, Kevin.
Good evening.
Now, we see your little misdemeanor at the start of the race, and we commented on what a fantastic recovery drive you had. Do you think you missed out on a podium tonight because of that mistake at the start?
No, the number 3 car, Lynn, was very, very fast, and Woodward too. So I think I finished where I deserved to finish. Yeah, it's a shame I get pushed, but I had fun doing that recovery. I've done the good call when I pit, because I protect myself from Kevin Duell, and I've done the undercut on the 3 car Lynn and Mark Lowert. So I think it was a good call, and I was happy with that. Then Lynn just overtook me, and I let him by. I didn't want to fight with him because he was way quicker than me, and just tried to manage the 5th place. I was happy with the 5th place.
Yeah, Lynn was, as you rightly say, Lynn was very, very quick, but he was very mistake prone as well. He got past Ant Woodward into 3rd place near the end.
I've seen that,
and then threw it away. So but so you was happy with where you finished. Happy with your pit stop strategy. And you must be looking forward up the grid now? You know, you're getting some consistently good results, and now you need to take it that step further and perhaps turn one of these fifth places into a third.
I've done the fifth place because it was a lot of missing guys tonight. I'm aiming at top 10s. While I'm top 10s, I will be happy. Never drove this car before I started this series with you guys. Never been on this track before Wednesday, so for now I'm still learning the car. I'm not quick enough to try to pretend to do podiums, not against the people I'm racing with.
Well, I'm sure that a podium's not too far away for you, Kevin. So thanks for joining us. Before we let you go, anybody you'd like to thank?
You at the beginning, because you're doing a very good broadcast, and I love watching the races after running them. And my team, Fixed Racing Team, and I'm sure they were watching. So thank you guys for the broadcast.
Excellent. Well, thanks for joining us in the booth, and we'll catch you soon, Kevin.
Bye. See you guys. Thanks.
Okay, Pete, we've got one more interviewee, or victim, or, however you want to say it. And that is Mr. Tyler Newitt.
Tyler Newitt, welcome to the booth. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Feels a bit self-indulgent doing an interview after a 9th place, but it's the first time I've been able to do one of these, so I thought I'd jump in.
Oh, well, welcome in. We would happily interview anybody from the races. It doesn't really matter where you finish. And your race is very interesting because you made your way forward. Then you pitted and ended up right at the back. Then I think you got blocked by quite a few people in front of you. And then towards the end of the race, you I think, appeared to lose all your traction and started to drop off the back of Kevin Duell. Tell us it from your perspective.
That's a pretty fair summary. I made one good, legitimate pass all race on Marco, and then immediately threw it away in turn 1. And I went back and watched, and I saw that was Clyde's fault for the commentator's curse.
As usual.
Lots of different things.
I was wondering why my braking was suddenly different into turn 1, and now I know. But so that got me stuck behind Nikolai, who seemed to kind of struggle in the first stint, and thought I'd try the undercut, and came out right behind Kevin Duell. And I want to apologize to him, because I think had I not tapped him out of Oak Tree, we probably would have successfully undercut Nikolai and jumped out in front of him, but we didn't, and so we both ended up behind him. And that was kind of it from there. I was trying to get by Kevin, and he put up a great defense, and I eventually lost pretty much all of the grip in my rear tires. It just would spin up out of every corner because I had overdriven it, because I haven't driven this car in a month or so.
Well, I'd be happy with 9th place after not driving it for a month, especially around VIR. It's notorious for having very challenging braking zones and very complex ones where corners tighten up when you don't expect them to. I think you did really well, and you'll take those learnings, no doubt, onto the next race. Do we know where the next race is? Anybody? Do you know, Tyler? Oh, Okayama, yeah. So, yeah, put your ice tyres on for that. The ones with the spikes in. You're going to need them. Very entertaining race. Lots of sportsmanship shown tonight, and you were a big part of that. So good to bring that into this series, into the Strength of Field series. Great result, really, when you consider. You must have got a haul of points out of that potentially. So congratulations, Tyler, and hopefully we'll see you next time round. It won't be a month before you drive the car again. Are you going to join us for Okayama?
I will, and I'll probably be doing Road America tomorrow for the Enduro Euro V8 series. So
excellent.
I'll be back behind the wheel now. I had some moving and stuff going on, but I'll be back, and definitely won't be a month before I'm in the car again.
Awesome. Is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, the team, especially Wayne, he tossed me a setup before the race started, which was quite a bit more stable. I don't think I would have made it a few laps with the one I had been running before. So thanks to Wayne and the rest of the team. Yeah. Thanks to you guys too, of course.
Well, thanks very much for the entertaining evening. Tyler Newitt.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, so that is the end of our interviews. Bill, sum up what we've seen tonight.
Well, I tell you, other than the guys up front, which was kind of a runaway, it was really a lot of excitement, a lot of 2 or 3 car battles in the pack. Really different kinds of driving. I give a lot of credit to Lynn. I mean, he made a lot of mistakes, but boy, I'll tell you, he was charging. He was driving hard. He was trying to get up front, and hats off to him. And I hope we see him again in our lineup. And of course, the people that we interviewed here, they seem to have a good time. VIR to me is not my favorite track, but it's a very interesting track. A lot of situations happen, and we saw them. Considering the field wasn't very big, I tell you, the time went fast for me. It was a lot of fun and always a pleasure to work with you guys.
Pete, anything that you can add to that?
I think Bill summed it up really well. I always enjoy watching races around VIR, even if not all the races like racing around it, because it is a massive challenge. Some of those turns you can see it on the screen at the moment with Tony going through those S's. They're just brilliant. It's a nice track in my opinion, and hardly anybody agrees with me. It is a beast of a track, and it was very entertaining tonight. And hopefully, Akiyama will deliver for us next week.
Yes, hopefully it will. So that's it for tonight. We've got a couple of races at the same track coming up. So tomorrow night we are at Road America for the V8 Racetech V8 ESC Endurance Series, 2-hour races. So tune in for that. Then we are back on Wednesday, where we have the GT4 TCR Challenge Series, again at Road America. So we should know all the names of the corners, 1, 2, 3, and 4 by then. And then next Friday, we're back in the usual spot for round 8 of the iRacing Supercar Series and the Friday night European Strength of Field race from the slippery Okayama. So I would like to thank Pete and Bill and Sam for joining me tonight. A big thanks to all of our viewers and a big thanks to all of our drivers. I shall say good night, let the guys say good night to you, and then we shall close until tomorrow. So it's good night from me.
Good night from me as well. I hope you all enjoyed it. And see you at Okayama.
And good night, everybody. And if you have any inkling, you should watch the Euro endurance race from the best track in the United States, Road America. Hope you can visit out there and watch. And good night to the guys. Appreciate your help, guys.
And good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.